All right. Good evening for those who are in Nairobi in Africa, and for those who are in diaspora. What do I say? Good morning, good afternoon. I know we might be in different spaces. I'll just start this. I can see Alisa Brownstar. I can see you, Karibu Sana. How are we doing? Wow. Yes, I was also waiting. I was eagerly waiting. It's been long. I've missed you guys. Berry K, nice to see you. Mindspire TV, thank you so much for joining my team. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Zara, I can see you. Hey, mom, thank you so much for the congratulations. I wouldn't have done it without you. I appreciate the feedback that you give me. I appreciate the support that you're giving me and giving yourselves so that we are able to walk the journey of mental health. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you never take time to invest in your mind, let me tell you, in the future, you're going to pay what would I say? It will cost you a lot. Maureen Muraguri, asante. I have not really acclimatized to my new title, Dr. Venus Chengo. I wear that hat for God. I'm not ashamed to say it. Vian Mutai, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of you who congratulated me, who sent me gifts. Oh my God, there's some of you who even sent me M-Pesa. Wow, I was really touched. May God bless each one of you. We are here to grow ourselves, and this does mean a lot to me because for some of you who are not able to really afford the services, you can come in here, get information, and work through your challenges. So today, Eunice, thank you so much for joining in. Today, we're going to be talking about, we are on a continuous series about the pillars of relationships, and I want to believe that each one of you is here because you're eager to learn. Relationships are just not about marriage. There are people who are in work relationships. There are others who are just in friendships, and we want to really grow these spaces. But as I speak, I will be speaking from a place of just I will be saying hi. Yes, blessed one, I can see you. Thank you so much. Hi, Daktari. Don't call me Doctor. I'm not used to the new title, but yes, with time, as we mentioned it's gonna come by. I am on coffee. Guys, it's been crazy. I've been graduating every weekend. For those of you who've been following me, it's been crazy. Bernadette, I can see you. Thank you so much. This wisdom we are here to share so that we can grow. Life is about pulling each other up. I'm not here to just read and keep it to myself. We are always encouraged to die empty. So today I'm gonna be touching about marriage, the stages of marriage. Follow, I can see you. Hi from Dr. Venus. Jocelyn, I can see you. Kanana, Karibu, I want to send you big hugs where you're watching me from. I have missed you. Ben, Karibu Sana. Thank you so much for being here. It's going to be 30 minutes of sweet knowledge. Medi, I can see you. How are you? Karibu Sana. So we are going to be talking about marriage. I'm very passionate about growing relationships. And I'm hoping that if you're here and you know someone who stands to benefit from this series, please tag them along. Masindolo Karibu Sana. Now, I realized I have not finished the session on communication. I'll be touching on it during the week. I know I have not been here for 2 weeks. Eunice, I love you right back. Joseph Karibu Sana. I will come. Joseph, I will come. Yeah, I know you've been doing my hair. I took off, but I will come. Pauline Magogo Karibu Sana. So we're going to be continuing on the series of pillars, but I said during the week I'll finish on communication. Today we're going to be talking about relationship. This one is a hot one. Make sure you don't miss. And I want to say this. A lot of us are failing in marriages because we just don't have the knowledge. We do not know where we are at in the marriage. My husband Santo, thank you for the love. I'm really happy to see you join in today, and probably one of these fine days you will come and say how dramatic your wife is. But going on, guys, what I want to say is that I, even in my own personal space, I realized that I was failing because I did not have the knowledge of where I was with this, my mubaba or my husband. Don't worry about me. I'm on coffee, as I said. So if you see me taking, I'm on coffee. I just need to be awake. It's been crazy studying and doing all these things. So, as I said, we fail because of lack of knowledge. And I love the Bible. And I say I'm never ashamed of God because I do say this thing. God Himself says we are failing, we are miserable. Christine Karibo, I will be inviting you very soon, my fellow counselor. We are failing, we are miserable, we are spending time dying, crying, packing bags, coming back, backing back to our homes, calling our pastors, calling our friends, being gossiped about everywhere, and of course, having all the drama because we lack knowledge. And God says it, if you lack knowledge, I am going to also disown you. I am here to share this knowledge. Take your pen and paper. As I said, short and sweet, 30 minutes, guys, 30 minutes, all right? Now, what is marriage? I don't want to go into the old ways of defining marriage. Nowadays, things have changed. We no longer define marriage how we'd be defining it those days. And as I said, I'm not here to do the usual, teaching, whatever. I'm here to do psychoeducation. So I'll just define it for those who want to know. Unity between two people with the goal of establishing intimacy, working towards, growing each other. Marriage can be recognized by anything, including state, religious communities, religious authorities, community. It can also be cultural. Some of us are in very disoriented marriages. Gladys, karibu sana, because we went and got married culturally, and then when things got sore, we are being told that whatever we hold, Irene, karibu sana, whatever we are holding as a piece of paper is not recognizable. So it's good. One of the things that I want to encourage you is to just make sure that you are certain that your marriage is legal. Lo and behold, when things go haywire, you produce your certificate and your in-laws and whoever else is telling you that no, you are not recognized. So first thing first, I want to tell you, Liz, karibu sana, my fellow counselor. I'll be sending love. Linda, karibu sana. Jane, karibu sana. Yes, receive all the love from me. So what I was saying, guys, is that at least it's good to verify that we are in the right institution, yeah? Like, okay, don't imagine you're just married. You'll be shocked, eh? I always see, Benson, karibu sana. I always see things going haywire when we lose a spouse, God forbid, and we are touching wood. Okay, so just make sure you have your house in order. Just make sure you have your documentation in order. Just make sure that the way we are very, we fight to keep title deeds and our logbooks and all that, your marriage certificate, you have it. Sawa sawa. Moving on swiftly. Why do people marry? I would ask you, by the way, today let's engage. Why are you married? Because I hear crazy things in this counseling room. But anyway, for me, I got married because I felt, first of all, my dad was this kind of person. He was like, the Chuck Norris. No boy would wink at us. So when I got a man, I ran fast, furious. And I decided to settle. But over and above that, of course, because of the social, Furaha karibu sana, Michelle karibu. Because that was, of course, if you listen to that story, what I mean is that we were doing this because of the social aspect. I needed a man, I needed love, I needed, so I quickly got into the marriage. And of course, my story, I got married very young, but I do not have any regrets. Can you imagine? I've never lived alone. Like, I moved from my mom's house into my husband's house. Yes, that is Venus, and I have no regrets. So we get married for very many reasons. Some of us, it's just to get the company. You're always lonely and depressed, so you think this woman or this husband will come and cure your loneliness. So some of us fall within that category of social company. Some of us are just emotionally dysfunctional, so we are there, we want someone who's going to be affirming us. Purity, karibu sana. We want to, Masi Kihara, karibu sana. We want someone who will be telling us we look nice, or we just want someone who's going to kind of like align our emotions. If you're that that person, you need counseling, because there is no one who can ever align you apart from yourself. I'll be touching on that later in life. The reason why most of us are frustrated, because even the reasons why we got into relationships are totally wrong. There are some of us who just met a man or a woman who seems to have more money, and we were financially needy, and we decided, this one, I am going to give extra love so that I settle with them. And then years later, this person becomes broke, and you become distorted, you become all mental, because your reasons of going into that marriage were wrong. Please, people, what I say is, you're better off getting married to a spouse who has nothing, because what it does, it creates Magdalene, karibu sana. It creates that forum for you to do things together. There's always that communication. What are we going to do? We are going to buy a stool today. We are going to buy a house. We're going to buy a car. You're always engaging. Some of our marriages are dead because we went into a marriage, we went into a home that was all furnished. I'm not saying that I'm against it, but ideally, if everything is perfect, then what is there to talk about? I love it when people struggle in marriages. It makes them, the real you comes out. Okay? So if you're there for financial gain, I wish you well. Because as we move on, I'll be touching on why it is wrong to get into a marriage for the wrong reasons. Okay? The other one is spiritual. Like for me, I felt that God was really speaking into my life and was telling me, this one who has nothing, this one who's, of course, he's handsome, he's tall, he's dark. Can I just say that? Yeah, God gave me that which I wanted, but there were other aspects that were missing. And I always say, when you are going into a relationship, go with an open mind. Do not look for 90%. Do not look for 100%. God gives you, if you're lucky, 50%. Then you will work on the 30, and the 20 God will top up. Now, if you're looking for a perfect man or a perfect spouse or a perfect wife, what I can say, Peter karibu sana Berry, what I can say, if you're looking for a perfect spouse, please go and look for a robot. Because robot, apart from, the electronic things, they are all perfect. They have the wisdom and all that. But if you're looking for someone who is human, please, let's work with 40%. Let's work with 50%. So that when we get into the marriage, we can work on something. You're always pointing out something out of, your spouse. Cynthia, I can see you. Karibu sana. You're always working on yourselves. And one of the mottos that I go by, and was something that I've loved and, kind of like learned as I continued journeying in my own marriage. And I can tell you, I can be dramatic, I can be emotional, but I love myself because I know myself. I am aware, okay? One thing that has really come out is you must work on yourself. Hello? You must work on yourself. This thing of going into a relationship and you're busy pointing this finger, you're always pointing, you, my friend, that finger will grow so long, that someone will come and snap it out of you. In marriage, you work on yourself and you pray for your partner. That is the motto. I always say, if you're here, for the first time, please go and check out my previous videos, my live, whatever talks, and you can see I'm always big on saying this. Work on yourself, pray for your partner. You cannot be in someone's life, someone who you met, someone who had already beards growing, someone who had passed through adolescent, has 32 teeth. You think you can undo them. You think you can unwire them and rewire them. My friend, you will be so frustrated. Tidy karibu sana. You will be so frustrated. You will die out of ulcers. Nothing should ever make you feel that you can change your spouse. I will repeat that and I will put that in bold and capital letters. Nothing on this earth should make you feel you can change your spouse. It will take their own willpower. It will take them being empowered and exposed. It will take God. You are outside that circle. Please. And I would like to invite you to take your space. Okay? Please. Sit where you're supposed to sit. And that is outside this person. Okay? So, as I said, marriage is spiritual. God wanted us to be in the Garden of Eden. Me, I always say a marriage is like the Garden of Eden. And please note that the serpent will always come after the woman. The serpent will always come when he's giving the woman that apple. That apple, Adam is busy in the cave. Are you seeing that setup? Hello? Men love to be in the cave because I always ask, where was Adam when the devil was giving her this apple? Adam must have been in a cave. He must have been meditating. He must have been avoiding issues. Hello, men. Thank you. I love you all so much, but we must look at things realistically. When you look at things in a very realistic ways, it makes you be able to kind of to deal with them because you know the truth. When we try to hide and say things, trying to sugarcoat, that is where we lose it. So, as I said, spiritually, I always feel that the Garden of Eden is marriage. And there we must have everything that God intended us to have. But the question comes in, why are we always suffering? Why are we always depressed? Why are we always crying in marriages? Let me tell you, if tears were currency, I think I'd be a billionaire. Because, for the 20-something years that I've been in a relationship, my friend, there's been more tears than laughter. Let us put things the way they are. But I always say, when you know you love, then you're committed. All right. So one thing that, as I was defining marriage, one of the things that I would like to say is marriage is a challenge. Oh my goodness. It's like those things people go to do to those funny roller coasters and all that. Let me tell you, that is marriage. Okay. Now, let us quickly sit. I like to work with numbers because numbers don't lie. What are the current statistics? Since 1975, underline, since 1975, those days of our parents when they're being born, marriages have been dropping, statistically decreasing by 30%. I really feel for our children because even my own son tells me, Mom, I don't think I want to get married. The way women nowadays are treating us. Hey, Yani, my son is depressed. I've been encouraging him to start looking for a wife. Can you imagine? I'm that mother. I want to be a grandmother when I'm young. So I've been trying to, talk to him and all that, ask him to bring, some two girlfriends home. Of course, he's bring, but he's telling me, Mom, okay, we will discuss about that later. Let me just first find money because ideally, it's like every woman wants a man who is established. Hello? Anyway, we pray for our children. But ideally, from 1975, the statistics have been going down. How is sex in a marriage? How are the numbers looking like when it comes to intimacy within a marriage? Brace yourself. Now, the couples who have sex daily, 15%. 15%. It is depressing. 15%. Ideally, guys, I think God wanted us to be enjoying one another daily. But of course, we know as women, we have headaches. Yes, we suffer from many diseases. So ideally, daily is not possible. For the men, you must tolerate us. All right. If you're here and you're young, I wish you well. I think you fall in the percentage for 15%. Now, several times per week is very encouraging because it's at 45%. Once in a week, also not very encouraging, but we are at 25% once in a week. Hallelujah. At least we thank God that there's been some activities. 45% for several times is a good figure. Ras baby, I can see you. Welcome. I have missed you. Once in a month, 8%. If you're having intimacy once in a month, please look for me during the week. You need therapy. You need therapy. Did you know that intimacy is medicine? I'll be talking about that later on. Jane, karibu sana. I'll be talking about it later on. Please make sure you don't miss the series. Hot things are coming, okay? Joselina, karibu sana. So if you're having intimacy once in a month, you need prayers. Thank you, Ras baby. Oh God, guys, I've just seen doctor. I'm not used to it, but yes, as we go on, I'll be embracing it, okay? And then there's a percentage of rarely. So if you're not having intimate sessions and you fall within the rare, whereby maybe you have sex once in 6 months or probably once in a year, I don't know what to say, but I think we need some deliverance. You need to be anointed, you need counseling, you need everything that is needed in order to align your marriage. I'm not making fun of you, but it is such a serious thing because you cannot be, your hormones cannot be operating and, unless you're unwell. This if once in a year, twice in a year, very alarming. Karibu Mary, I can see you. Now, why am I very big on marriage? Because statistically, these are the statistics for divorce. Okay, 42 to 45% of marriages in the US end up in divorce. 42 to 45%. We are nearing 50%. It means out of every 10 couples that get married in the US, 5 are going to end up in divorce. Now, in Kenya, the statistics are about 15 to 20%. We thank God. I think Kenya, God is with us. May we continue getting this knowledge so that we reduce the statistics to even 1%. Now, within East Africa, we are talking about 30% of marriages ending up in divorce. And there are so many things that are interfering with marriages today. I'll be delving into that as we continue on. Around the world, we are talking about 1 to 1.4 million every year. Can you imagine? Very alarming rates. And for those of us who think they can escape into second marriages, here, please note this. 60% of people who get into second marriages end up in divorce. We always say that it is better the devil you know than the angel you think that is on the other side of the fence. I'd rather you invest in your marriage. I'd rather you do the coaching. I'd rather you do the sessions until you're able to align. Where there's a will, there's a way. Never ever give up on your spouse if they are willing to work on the relationship. Never ever be quick to run out. I was very quick to pack. Even sometimes I still tell my husband I want to pack. But I'm always reminded that if someone is willing to work on the relationship, or if you're willing also to be patient with your partner, invest in this marriage. It is the reason we are there. When I'm doing marriage sessions, I take 5 hours, intense hours. And if you're here and you've come for the therapy sessions, please, you can attest to it. I will see you as an individual. I will see your spouse and I will put you together in a session and we are going to discuss about the issues. And I always say it is good to invest in your marriage. Okay? The same way we'd be busy buying pizzas, buying dresses for ourselves, treating ourselves, is the same way we should have the willpower and the desire to invest in our marriage. Now, there's an issue that has come up in marriage when it comes to finances. Currently, 1 out of 9 women, earns more than that. In fact, this number has gone up because by the time I was doing these statistics, I think it was last year because I was doing a presentation for an organization. And I want to believe that right now we are talking at about 4 to 5 women, 4 out of 9 women making more cash than their husbands. Now, a lot of marriages are also becoming unstable because a lot of the women have the upper hand. And of course, if the mubabas is not behaving, you know how women we are, the emotions come out. So ideally, I'll also be touching on this. Make sure you don't miss when we are talking about the finances in a marriage, because that is also another pillar. Let me say this. We are also very, very frustrated. Our marriages, our relationships are failing because of some assumptions. So quickly, before I go into the first stage of marriage, allow me to just point them out and quickly explain them. Number 1, those of you who are getting into marriage because you want to cure your own loneliness, I wish you well. The people who are in marriage want to get out. The ones who are outside the marriage want to come in. So, if we are having companies and we are in the marriage, if we are having our spouses and we want to come out, I can assure you that marriage is not a cure for loneliness. If anything, you can end up being lonelier than when you were before you get into the marriage. So brace up, come with your armor, come with your Bible, come with, as you get into the marriage, please come equipped. We rush into marriage. We are investing millions into doing the wedding, and we don't want to do our premarital counseling. Lo and behold, if you're there and you think now you're so much in love, when you get onto the other side, it will going to be better. You're going to be lonely. You're going to be lonely. There's going to be a time where your spouse will prefer to be building the community, okay, to be praying, leading the church when you're busy there, waiting for him or her to come home. So go into the marriage equipped. It is not a place to cure your loneliness. If anything, it is a place where you will need to deal with the loneliness. Number 2, some of us go into marriages broken. You're a broken piece. You're a broken pot. You're so broken. You're so dismantled. And you're looking for this spouse to come with super glue or bond glue, these things that we use for making our eyebrows, so that you can be bonded together. My friend, you're going to break into more pieces. You're going to break into more pieces. You can never give, and I always say this, you can never give what you don't have. So if you're broken, what are you going to give in the marriage? The equation is very clear. You're going to be giving brokenness. So what if you're in a marriage and you're broken? It is not bad. We get hurt. Some of us even suffer from resentment. But that is why counselors are there. And there's so many counselors here. By the way, if you're a counselor and you're in here, please put your number there. Put your number there so that we can get clients for you. Because I believe some of us also do want to heal our past. We want to heal ourselves so that as we continue journeying in these relationships, we are able to give love. We are able to bring in peace. If you're broken and traumatized, it is the same. In fact, when it comes to sex, someone will just be touching you and the way you react, it's like you've seen a lion. And this is your husband. This is your wife. So ideally, in the marriage, you should strive to work on bettering yourself as an individual so that as you present yourself within the relationship, you're oozing out what is inside you. When you learn to love, it is easy to ooze love. But if you're rejected, if you're broken, it is the same thing that you're going to ooze out. So let us get it right, guys. Working on the marriage, starts with working on yourself as an individual. Please book in for therapy sessions. As I've said, if you're a therapist who is in this session, please put your number right there. Let us be able to contact you so that we can help heal these marriages. Number 3, some of us come into marriages expecting 100%. 100%. Boniface, please, yes. Karibu sana. Yes, we will miss you. I know you're going somewhere, but it's okay. So some of us go into sessions because we want financial security. Let me just say a big hi to George, God's Ministries, Ibrahim Makenga, Furaha, Liz, I can see you. So karibuni sana. So if you're in a marriage for financial reason, I said I will touch on that, but it is not the right thing to do. At some point, this thing that attracted you to that marriage will be the one thing that is going to bring that marriage down. Okay? Number 4, we feel entitled that we're supposed to be in a marriage. Please don't go into a marriage because you feel entitled. That will also be another different thing once you're there. Number 5, we feel that marriages are supposed to be perfect. No marriage is perfect. Even my own marriage, guys, with all this knowledge and titles, it is not perfect. Do you know I go for sessions? Do you know me as Venus? I go and sit down with other counselors, and my personal therapist, she knows how I cry. Yani, I can cry. I cry, guys, and I love crying. As you see me, so when I know I'll go and cry, I don't wear my 2 fake lashes, But ideally, what I'm trying to say is that you can never be perfect. You are always on a continuous journey of learning, and experiences shape you. Okay. Number 6, we always feel that when we get married, it will enhance our life. How does it enhance your life? Other than being a Mrs. or a Mr. The rest is so personal. You must choose to grow. Okay? My husband never told me go and study. I chose it. So when you're going into a marriage thinking that now, when you're there, it's going to be, doing gaming kids and Probi's health, karibu sana, that it's going to improve your lifestyle. My friend, you're having the wrong perception Okay, Sophie, karibu sana. So please make sure that you're not getting into that marriage because you want it to be enhanced. You will totally fail. Let us deal with these assumptions. Guys, I don't mince my words. It's always black or white. We are not going to be doing gray areas because gray is what kills marriages. Gray is what is making people, die by suicide. Gray is what is sending people into hospital wards because of chronic illnesses. You're dying there because you're having assumptions. All right? So we are going to deal with these things as they are. All right? Number 7. Ladies, or men who suffer from self-esteem issues. If you're in a marriage because you want to be affirmed, please forget it. Because at some point, you will be so, you'll become so a regular item in that home that even your beauty will not come out. Sometimes I have to remind my hubby to tell me that I look good. Can you imagine? I have to remind my hubby to tell me that I look good. Not that he doesn't love me or he doesn't like to do it. It's just that these people forget. Okay? So if I'm to depend on him to tell me that I look good, I will die out of stress. So ladies, gentlemen, it's good to be affirmed, but please get your self-esteem issues right. You should be your first cheer leader. You should be your first cheering squad. You should be like your first, the one person who encourages yourself. It must come from within you. Okay? Now, let me say this. The church needs to change. I love, for those of you who know me, I love praying. I love serving God. But I've also realized that a lot of us are hiding behind prayer. God is very clear. Faith without action is dead. Let us not go into marriages and say, because I got married to a man who knows God, he's going to be all perfect. Let us not say, because my woman knows God, it's going to be perfect. Excuse me. As you go to pray, make sure that you're also telling God, yes, you've been seeing a counselor and you're working on yourself. Then God can come and help you. But if you're taking your Bible and casting out demons that are not there, and you yourself, you have these behavioral dysfunctionalities which you're bringing into the marriage, my friend, you're going to be miserable. And the next thing, you'll be changing churches because you can't deal with the fact that your marriage is failing. All right? Now, the last one is, we talk about behavior. Now, I know a lot of us, come in because, our partners are dysfunctional. Okay? Now, behavior has a source. It can be experience. It can be triggers that are current within the environment. Okay? It can be because of certain addictions. There's a lot of many things that support the behaviors we see. Talk about alcoholism. It can be because of so many reasons. So if you're dealing with an alcoholic husband, we have to sit down and analyze. When you're coming in for the session and you're complaining about an alcoholic spouse, I would want to know a lot. I look into the history. So let's just not make assumptions about behavior. Some of us have been brought up in polygamous setups. Some of us have been an only child, kind of thing. So at the end of the day, it has kind of like wired what you bring into the marriage. All right. So don't ever just assume that, someone just decided. No, there's a source to everything. And that is why, therapy is very, very important. Quickly, because of time, allow me to delve into the first stage of marriage. Now, I want you to really grasp this very well. Why do I say this? Again, I will emphasize, some of us are frustrated in the relationships because we just don't know where our marriage is. We have so much expectations, but we have zero knowledge. I am here to equip you. Take your pen and paper. Stage number 1, and we all have to go through these these stages at one point in our life. Just make sure you know where you are. Okay? The first stage is the dream stage, or the honeymoon stage, or what we call the passion stage. Just by those names, it is very easy for you to know what goes on in that stage. And if this is you, wow, I envy you, because some of us, I think we are at the latest stage, the last stage of, of marriages. All right. And we'll be talking about that every other week until we exhaust the stages. So what does a dream stage kind of setup look like? This is where you're exploring each other. and I want to put exploration. Those people who like National Geographic, you're always seeing people going to explore the forest and all that. Those who are divers, they'll go undersea. They want to understand. They want to extract information. They're very eager to know this person. So in that stage, we are always exploring each other. You're discovering this person, and there's a very strong emotional connection. My God, these are the kind of people who will talk for hours at night. Like, you start talking and they're like, hi, baby. Just saying that name, my God, you just feel like an electrocution, like your heart, like you even start blushing. The connection is there. Oh my God, don't I envy you? Because some of us, we always, when we make the call, it's like, come with bread, come with soap, and is there anything else? Like, the cat has given birth, like, anyway. Now, when you're in this dream stage, you are all, so much in love. The bond is so strong. My God, you look at each other, you're so passionate. Okay? That is the dream stage. Like, basically, everything you've ever dreamt about in a marriage, 80% of this is here in this stage. Okay? It is kind of like, and that is why it's called a dream stage. It is kind of like a fantasy type of marriage. A fantasy type of stage. Why? Everything looks so perfect. Like, you never see the flaws of your spouse. Now, there's some of us who just don't brush our teeth. There's some of us who wears, if it's you, I'm so sorry, but I'm not, I don't know. I mean, I'm just giving examples, okay? Some of us just don't even change our socks and all these things. But when people are in this stage, they don't notice such small things. Like, you can come to bed with bad breath, you've not showered. Your partner tends to be so accepting. Like, like, baby, it's okay. And they'll still be all over you. They'll be so, like, okay, even having intimacy. Excuse me, as you grow into the marriage, things change, okay? But this is just, a place where you really encourage one another. You're really there for each other because the connection, when it comes to the emotion, is very strong. Now, couples in this stage are very helpful to one another. They do things. They're always giving suggestion for one another. They're so, it's like, as I said, it's a perfect stage where if someone has a dream, the other person will help them accomplish it fast and furious. The thing is that we have to get this thing done. There's so much unity and teamwork in this stage. And of course, the decisions are more unified. These people tend to be friends. They're just best friends. If you ever to sit down with couples who are in this stage, they're always telling you, like, okay, my husband is and has been my best friend, but we are definitely not in the dream stage. All right. So here it is always there on the wall, like, he's my best friend. The sexual intimacy is like 90%. Sex is daily. In this stage, sex is daily, and people don't suffer, they don't feel hurt, they don't feel inconvenienced, they never have headaches. This one is a daily thing, all right? And there's normally support. And why do couples at this stage behave the way they behave? Now, when it comes to the brain, we are told that there's an outburst of neurotransmissions, okay, that make you and your spouse bond, okay? Couples not only become frolic and fall madly in love with each other, but they establish three things: trust, respect, and intimacy. Now, someone would ask me, how long would this stage last? Now, it depends. For those of us who are know-it-alls, or not spiritual, because if you're going the spiritual way, we are told don't engage in sexual intimacy before you get married, because we are told that it is sinful. All right, it is like illegal. You're not supposed to do it before. You know what I'm talking about. All right, but for those of you who start before you legalize the marriage, lo and behold, since you are already known to each other, this honeymoon stage can last even 1 month. 1 month before you move into the next stage, which is called the drama stage. Now, this is where we have Chuck Norris coming in with his gun loaded with enough bullets. And the drama that goes on in this second stage is something that I will need an hour to explain. So guys, allow me, as I said, we are going to be doing 30 minutes, short and sweet. I know Sunday is a sensitive day, but allow me to just put a comma there. I have talked about the first stage. Make sure you don't miss the second stage, because a lot of us enter marriage and can quickly go into the rage of the marriage, and that is drama. And a lot of divorce, I've talked about statistics, a lot of divorces happen during this stage. Why? This is where now things begin to unfold. You begin to know your partner very well. There's so many patterns that come out in these stages. And as I said, because this was just like the intro of the stages of marriage, I'll invest a whole hour in this, because you'll need to really understand this. This is where we pack our things, we want to move on. This is where we discover that this person that we thought we knew is not really the person, actually, true picture of who we thought he is or she is. So that said and done, allow me to end the session there. It's been 40 minutes. I thought that we were going to do 30 minutes. Next time, we're still going to do 30 to 40 minutes. As I said, I just want to keep these sessions short and sweet. Now, what I want to say is that if you're in a marriage and you're going through issues, I know sometimes our spouses don't want to come in for therapy. Please, as I said, if you're a counselor here, please put your number on the screen so that we can be able to get you clients. Please work on yourself. As I always say, try and work on yourself. You will give your wisdom. You will transfer it to the marriage. You will share the marriage, you love, if you cultivate it within the therapy room. So let's come and work on you as an individual as we wait for your spouse to warm up. Okay? Let us work on you. As I say, you can never change your spouse. Try changing yourself. And I'm talking from experience. Try changing yourself. Rewire yourself. And let me tell you, when you do, it is such a joy. Guys, I am happy to say this. I have been working on myself. And I love it, because there's something that happens when you become aware of who you are. When you know your triggers, when you know your strengths, and you know your purpose. That is what is important. Any other thing that is outside that is supposed to be a support system. And unfortunately, anything that is outside you is something you cannot control. So deal with what you can control, and that is you as an individual. And that is what therapy teaches you. So once again, I want to say this. Let us not try and make, mental health a thing like, something that is just for specific people. As it is right now, going by statistics, everyone needs to see a therapist. Whether you think you're okay or not, it is a must do. The same way we want to go and eat some good food maybe at the end of the month when we get paid is the same thing you should be looking forward to when it comes to mental health. Just sitting down with a coach or a therapist and just talking about yourself. Why? When you do, something will change. So that's said and done. I don't know if the Mindspa TV team has put my number on the screen as well. Please feel free to reach out in case you need sessions. Of course, I do charge, but engage me. We can always book you in for a session. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe so that you can get notification whenever we are going online. Yeah. For those of you who are here and you know someone stands a chance to, to make their marriage better or to grow by just listening to this session that we have had, please feel free to share the link and tell them to join in the bandwagon. Once again, what I want to say is invest in your mental health. It will take you, what would I say? It will be the fuel that will help you as you walk the journey of life. Once again, let me end the session there. It's always nice to, engage with you guys. If you have suggestions for us, please feel free also to reach out to us. Please WhatsApp me. I know sometimes I take long to respond, but yes, I do respond. God bless you. See you next time on Sunday. Next, I think same time. Looking forward to engaging with you, and God bless you. Bye bye.